So today I'm going to be telling you about my favourite foundations. I recently did my worst foundations ever, where I was just like so salty and bashing all of the foundations that I don't like. So I just thought it'd be nice to kind of even it out and do a positive video about the foundations that I enjoy. So I have oily skin. Also, I'm getting older now, so I do struggle with fine lines. I have pores. I have random breakouts. So these are all things that I like to try and cover if I can. The foundations that I'm going to be discussing today are all drugstore. They're all drugstore. I didn't even mean for that to happen today. I mention as well, this is the Touchy Clap by YSL. This used to be my all-time favorite foundation, but they messed with the formula. Like, why would they do that? They meddled with it and made it worse. So unfortunately, this one isn't in my batch of favorites anymore. It's such a shame, because this used to be a beautiful, radiant, really lightweight, comfortable foundation, but then they just messed with it, and now it's just like your bog standard like foundation. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. So that one, the only high-end one that would have been here, is gone. To the left, to the left. It's been bin bagged officially. YSL Touchy Clap. Now, because it's so expensive, like, I don't want to waste it, so I'm thinking like, well, I've got to just wear it, but I don't really enjoy it. We're just going to begin with the actual favourites. This is the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Foundation. I have it in the shade Fair. It is a little bit too dark for me, but I can kind of just about make it work. I really like this because it gives you a really nice kind of dewy finish. I have oily skin, so I should probably be a little bit kind of afraid of this one, but I'm not, because it actually wears really beautifully on my skin. It lasts for hours. It doesn't get overly oily. I do have to set it, and I would advise, if you've got oily skin, definitely set this like a bad boy, because otherwise it's gonna probably get a little bit oily. It doesn't feel heavy, it just feels really comfortable. This gives you a really kind of fresh, healthy look. It is a medium coverage. If you're trying to build this up to being like a fuller coverage, it could get a little bit heavy potentially. But if you are looking for a really good, medium, dewy foundation, then I would go for this one. Okay, so this is probably my favourite matte foundation. It's the number 7 Beautifully Matte. It's just a really consistently beautiful foundation. It never gets oily. It never starts to kind of break up and slide around. Once it's on your face, it's there for the long haul. It just makes my skin look really kind of flawless and smooth. It's a medium coverage, so it's not like a super like full coverage foundation or anything. And even though it's matte, it has quite a natural look to it. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look heavy, it just looks really beautiful. It does describe itself as being a velvet matte, which I would definitely agree with. It's not like a flat kind of matte. It definitely does have a bit of like a nice soft, almost like airbrushed look to it. So I would definitely recommend this if you have oily skin, or even if you have normal skin probably. But if you have oily skin, I think it'd be really good a good friendly foundation. Like, it's a friend. It's always gonna be good to you and not, you know, go behind your back and start slipping all over. Thing to mention about this though, you do need to apply it with a brush, because in the past when I've applied it with a beauty blender, it can get a little bit patchy. It's one of those formulas that you have to work really quickly with, because I think it sets. So if you don't kind of work it into your face, it will refuse to move. So you've got to work quickly with it. Get yourself a good kind of flat top brush and just get to work. Don't hesitate. Get to work. By the way, just to mention as well, I'm doing a first impression today. I've not got the foundation here, but I'm doing a first impression on the Bourjois reformulated healthy mix. So just in case like you're thinking, well, Anwen, why aren't you wearing any of these today? It's only because I'm doing a first impression today. So okay, so another kind of old, trusty, reliable, fabulous foundation is the Ready Set Gorgeous from Covergirl. I've mentioned this so many times now, so I'm not going to go on too much. I have it in the shade Classic Ivory, and this is just a really natural looking medium coverage. Do you see a trend here? I like natural looking medium coverage foundations. If you look natural, if you're medium coverage and you're not cakey, I'm probably going to like the foundation. but it just feels really comfortable. Like, this is the kind of foundation that you can put it on in the morning, and then by 6 o'clock in the evening, it's still looking pretty much the same way it was when you put it on. It doesn't feel in any way heavy on your skin. It feels almost weightless. I'm the kind of girl that as soon as I get in from work, I like to just wash my face, get all the makeup off, and just chill. However, with this, because it kind of feels so weightless, I don't ever feel that urge, like by the end of the day, to want to like rip off my face. I just could quite happily wear this into the evening and be fine. Next one is by Maybelline, and this is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. If you're a oily skinned person, then give this one a go. It's super affordable, and I just think it's super good. Like, there's nothing I can say negative about this one. I sound like a broken record right now, but this is a medium coverage, nice natural finish. It is more on the matte side, like it's not really got much in the way of kind of a radiance to it, but then it's called Matte and Poreless, so it would be false advertising, wouldn't it, if it was like dewy and pores ahoy. The only criticism actually that I have about this one is the poreless claim. I've not noticed that it does actually blur pores. I mean, I wish it did, because if it did, it would just be like the perfect foundation, but it doesn't seem to kind of blur them any more than any of my other foundations do. So if you've not tried this yet, give it a go, because what we got to lose? It's just a really good one to have in your arsenal. So the last foundation is one that I've recently reviewed, and I've been wearing it so much recently. Could I say recently any more times? I don't know. But this is the Dream Velvet, and I have it in the shade Ivory. You will have seen if you watch my first impression, and I will link all of my reviews down below. I really did not like this when I first tried it. There were two reasons why. Well, the main reason, I put way too much on. I put enough on probably for 50 faces, and the second reason was that I used, like, this is what made me put too much on. I used like a typical foundation, one of the old school foundation brushes, and I was just carried away. I was smearing it on, and when I was editing it, I was just like, Anwen, put the brush down. Like, really, you're putting way too much on. It just looked awful because I put too much on. So less is definitely more with this foundation. If you put less on than you think you're going to need, you're going to love it. Right, you know what I'm going to say at this point. I'm going to be saying it gives you a really nice natural medium finish. I didn't say this is as kind of high coverage as the other ones. It's definitely more along the lighter coverage side of things. I think it'd be great on kind of no makeup days, or if you're in school and they say no makeup in school, which is so mean. I mean, really, no makeup in school. I mean, I understand it, but still, no, I don't understand it. I think the teachers are being salty right there. I think it'd be really good because you could kind of get away with this, like if it's no makeup. See, I'm being a very bad influence now. Just blame me. Say, Anwen said we could get away with this. I'll take the blame. I think you could get away with it just because it is a very kind of light coverage, but it's still got enough coverage to kind of cover up what you don't want people to see, if you know what I mean. If I had to say, my favourite matte foundation would be the Beautifully Matte by number 7, and my favourite dewy foundation, which actually I only have one here, so you win, because there are no others. I'm sorry about that. These are my two main homies, you know, the main ones. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video and it's been useful to you. I'm sorry, I know I repeated myself so much in this video. Let me know down below what your favourite foundations are. I would be really keen to find out. Also, don't forget to let me know what skin type you have as well. And I will be back soon with more reviews.